This has been weighing on my mind for a long time now and it's starting to piss me off. It's meant as a rant towards the general gaming public, no one in particular on this channel or anywhere else. I still see many people on this channel being open-minded, with the ability to listen and connect the dots fairly, and I'm very proud of that, but also seeing more and more the other side, the idiot side. I get it, humanity has gone to shit. Rampant politicization, egoism, narcissism has taken over and it has spilled over into games and gamers. Into our hobby that allows escape from the sad reality of today's existence and humanity's downfall. So now there is no escape. Don't take this video personally, you bewildered bastards, as it's more of a jab from a disappointed gamer not that different than many of you. Only difference being that I have some sort of a platform to share these thoughts and I'm sure many have similar thoughts and would love to vent somewhere where they know they won't be attacked immediately. Though stupidity coming from ignorance, assumptions and egoism is gonna be sorted by me and many others. I have no problems with that. People have become too comfortable living in their ignorant ego, spewing whatever comes to their emotion-riddled mind because they don't care about the consequences of their actions. How can we as humans become better if we want instant emotional gratifications without watching what we do and say and how it can affect others? As that Mexican carpenter Jesus once said, they don't know what the fuck they're doing because they're idiots. And by watching what we say, I don't mean catering to emotions. What I mean is something far more important, which is not spreading ignorant assumptions based on nothing, but the inability to not let emotions cloud the judgment. Most people are not stupid, but their lack of emotional control makes them look stupid. So the counterweight on this channel are the people that know what they are talking about, chiming in with me, frequently responding. Frequent suggestions are to ignore stupidity, or just delete it, to not bother with such things. A reason why I don't do that is because there's gonna be another toddler looking at the comment section and by reading another toddler's comment, it might start to think, fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But then upon collapsing replies, it might come to a conclusion, oh fuck, maybe I'm part of the problem and might actually learn a thing or two. I know, it seems incredibly naive on my part, but frequent viewers and myself do whatever we can to stop spreading bad things, and we can live with that. Maybe we have actually helped someone that way to realize there are other options in life than being willfully stupid. You never know. With the rise of political agendas in gaming, it has become evident that the general gamer's mindset has been changing too. It's similar to the real world where people have become more dismissive, emotional, unable to listen, desperate to take sides when any sort of drama pops up, unable to take constructive criticism because it hurts their feelings. How the hell are you gonna become better if you don't listen to constructive criticism? It's impossible to be aware of all the personal flaws by yourself. Similar thing is happening in gaming. People attach too much importance to a game like it's a part of their identity, and everything said in a critical way they interpret as a direct attack on their being, which is stupid. That's emotional control on a level of a toddler. And how can you have a fruitful conversation with a toddler? A death of civilization, progress and humanity starts with the death of open communication about everything. When I assess a game, it comes from an entirely neutral standpoint. My priority is to never have expectations or start with a bias. Don't care who did the game, don't care about the corporation behind it, don't care about controversies and hype. That's achievable when emotions are in check. And as someone that reviews games, it's a very important thing because emotions are subjective as they are only relevant to that person experiencing them. So no reading articles about the upcoming games, no watching trailers except for occasional first gameplay trailers that I forget about anyway by the time the game launches, no development news, no Reddit, no nothing. Only thing I care about is that the game shows everything it can do so that I can carefully examine it and publish videos that are all about the game's quality without all the outside stuff. Then the audience can decide for themselves if they think that's something worth buying for them or not. I can never tell if something is going to be to your liking or disliking, whether you'll have fun or not, is the price tag worth it or not. Those are all entirely subjective concepts that cannot be measured, since there is no reference point. I don't know you, nor do you know me. I only know about you what I see from each individual post. That's my extent of knowing someone. From your perspective, my videos and interactions are the only thing you know about me. So our goal should be to be as constructive as possible in order to achieve some sort of as objective as possible reference points so that it can be measured based on facts, not feelings, right? That way, what we produce in the comment section and videos can be observed by many to learn something from it, because it's not coming entirely from a subjective perspective that is only relevant to the individual. Basically assessing the quality of the game in the most fair manner. Have to commend you bastards, because I've learned a lot from the comment section about assessing games, constructive feedback, points of discussion, how to analyze things better, how to not look at things at all. I'm constantly growing because of it, and that is invaluable when someone takes their time to write a constructive comment. Means everyone that reads it can learn something from it. This channel has a lot of that, and I'm very proud about the type of people it attracted. Then there's the other side, which is the reflection of all the problems of the modern world. If you put forth a valid constructive criticism, people think you're ranting and whatnot. Like I said that they can't have fun or enjoy a game. You can have fun with almost every game, that's entirely up to you. Well, maybe not with Gollum. If you can have fun with that game, then your love for games knows no bounds. If the game has some controversy to it, that's an entirely different stratosphere of crap. Some people want to hate everything that has any forced political injection regardless of the game's quality. Just because of that, they don't care about the quality, but instead care about the politics in it. Then when I assess the level of politics and how it affects the game's quality, there's a certain type of people that jump immediately to game sucks, woke trash, this and that. Basically the first event in the game that has a sniff of any sort of politics, and they are out, dissing the game entirely. There are degrees to how political agendas affect games. It's not immediately a shit game because of it. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. It's a game that is for modern audiences, but done in the right way. Yes, there are agendas at times, but it doesn't affect the game's quality almost at all. On the other side is something like Whaleguard, where the politics have entirely ruined the quality of writing and characters in the game. It's simply not the same thing. Outer Worlds 2, from my brief experience with it, has a couple good things about it, and it's not a bad game. Not a good one either, in that brief 7 to 8 hour game time window. But to say game is shit instantly because it's done by modern Obsidian that brought us mediocre politically infested game like Avowed, those 7 to 8 hours is more than enough for me to see that it's a better game than Avowed already. So that's a step forward, not backwards. Not a big step forward, and definitely a huge step backwards to Fallout New Vegas though. Then there are politically brainwashed people that as soon as you mention there is a political agenda in games, which is sometimes more obvious and sometimes not as much, they jump for the throat parroting politically taught names to label someone negatively because they dared to mention something factual that hits their brainwashed brain nerve. And then I am the enemy because they are blind as bats. Like in Outer Worlds 2, I've mentioned that females have become quite generic and predictable, because they have too many similarities across the board. That is detrimental to women. It's not good for the game and for the writing of these female characters. Then males take over screen presence because they are easier to connect with, because in an attempt to put them in their place they actually get more writing time and effort to hit those nuances, which creates discrepancies in writing quality when comparing both sexes. I want better written females, not modern generic ones whose goal is to first fulfill whatever political agenda writers have and then start to actually write a female character that is already limited by the political perspective that wants to be projected on the screen. What the fuck is going on? Why does everything have to be an extreme instantly? You either have to love or hate something, utterly dismiss it, or not say a thing about the flaws. Seeing everything from the extremes breeds contempt, hatred, and creates emotional instability that is then used quite easily for control. Emotional people are the easiest to control because they are predictable. Powers that be benefit from it tremendously today. People bickering amongst each other while the big bastards are laughing their way to the bank. Have we learned nothing from history? We are going back to totalitarianistic ages of the 20th century. To some extent even to medieval times and witch hunts. This is really dangerous and needs to change before civilization collapses on itself. Then there are people I have huge respect for, people that put their money where their mouth is. If they see political agendas in games, they immediately say they won't even touch it. As long as they don't go online and talk how game is shit when they haven't even started playing it. That's simply not fair. What I respect is the fact that they don't want to support products that are affected by politics, which has proven time and time again in most games that it is detrimental to quality, usually in the writing department. That's a fact. Not for every game though, and not to the same degree. And these types of people are important for the gaming industry. They have zero tolerance for completely unnecessary elements injected into games that, as said earlier, in most cases affects the game's quality negatively. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a good example. It has few woke elements to it, but nothing that would affect the game's quality, because it's a brilliant game no matter the way you look at it. Many have, however, skipped the game because the first one didn't have those added political elements. I've done a video assessing the wokeness of KCD2, and my god, the amount of ignorance on display in some of the comments. To be fair, there was also lots of brilliant analysis that I've read in the comment section too. It's the nuances and things easily missed that can change the perspective. Was an interesting video to make without a doubt. Fact of the matter is that we live in an age where more and more people love to live in their shell with a carefully coddled fake ego that even the smallest thing affecting their emotions can set off. And then it's this side, that side, attacks without understanding even the simplest things. But there are no qualms about going online to spread stupidity. If someone can't accept constructive criticism about the games they are playing, what chance do they have about accepting constructive criticism about themselves? And how can games and people become better without accepting their own flaws and working on it? One of the first things I did when entering the relationship I'm currently in was to ask my girl to help me with my weaknesses that could affect her and us negatively. I know my strengths, but can't work on my weaknesses if I'm not aware of them. Did the same for her, said things that she could be better at. We both worked on the flaws and now we have a perfect relationship. Something I thought I had before, but was so wrong because I couldn't see the importance of mine and my partner's growth, and how it can positively affect us both even if we don't end up staying together. Instead, in previous relationships we stagnated because I've spent way too much coddling my partner's feelings, and it led me and us to nowhere. Then when I said no more, that the base of a relationship needs to be something more significant, which is individual growth and relationship growth next to that, it's when things changed for the better. To simply put it, feelings and emotions are overrated. In the vast majority of cases it only clouds the judgment, leaving us with bad decisions to satisfy our or someone else's instant gratification. I digress. Point is that because of that way of emotional thinking, gaming corporations can easily control the narrative and produce subpar quality games looking for easy profits. Gaming should have been so much more by now, but instead progress is stifled because there are armies of morons defending companies whose only goal is to sell you a product by any means necessary. Instead of insane AAAs, of which there are few to be honest, we get mostly recycled crap with tons of marketing investment instead of development investment. Games like Call of Duty, FIFA, NBA 2K, Football Manager, Assassin's Creed, you name it. Marketing games, most of them. Rise of indies and AA's is the biggest benefit of the stifled AAA industry. There's lots of shit there, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of creative gems from small studios or even single developers that should be the ones having the funding to do whatever they want because they are evolving the quality of the whole industry. There's plenty of positives still, but it is at times buried under marketing, egos, narcissism and political brainwashing. I always want the best for every person and everything that deserves it, which is why I'm not afraid to share my thoughts unapologetically in an effort to help change the narrow-mindedness for the benefit of everyone and most importantly for the benefit of the games and the gaming industry. What this channel accomplished is already a big thing, which is attracting lots of quality individuals of different persuasions ready to share their own constructive feedback, and I'm very proud of that. This video, as said in the beginning, goes more towards the general gaming audience, so don't take it the wrong way, or take it, whatever makes you better in the end. Thanks for listening to this rant, and as always, thanks for the incredible support.